Welcome to the Beefy Pod, the official podcast of Beefy, the multi-chain yield optimizer, getting you some of the best yield in all of DeFi. I'm your host, Jorge, and I'm here with TBC, who has a beautiful message to share with all of us.
That's right. All your tokens. XRP is the future. Everything will be tokenized. All the money in existence, $129 trillion worth. All the debt, $323 trillion worth. All the derivatives, $1 quadrillion worth. Everything's going to be tokenized by Ripple. Everything. You all laughed. You didn't use it. You didn't buy it. You didn't give a shit. But Brad did. Oh, Brad didn't quit. He hustled. He conned. And he sucked off everything. You say you're in the trenches, but you're not. You're not in the trenches. You're not down to do the dirty deeds that need to be done to make it. But Brad does. No more soy boy idols. No more false prophet maxis. No more popsicle eating old men. Make space on your wall for a new poster. Your new hero, Brad Earlinghouse, Ripple CEO, who said XRP market cap will be 650 trillion, surpassing BTC in price and pricing XRP at an individual token of $121,590. And because of that, Jorge, because of that, XRP soared this week 22% to an all-time high of, get this, $3.66. Only 120,586 and some change ago. The market cap currently $216 billion. But hey, Jorge, it's going to 650 trillion. It's going. Did you stack your bags this week? You Ripple whore, you dirty Ripple slut.
I do admit there are times where I'm a slut in my investments, but I still, I'll give him this. Okay. Is it going to continue to perform
yes,
well?
Yes, it's going.
I think at this point,
Jorge,
it's undeniable.
There's an entire derivatives market that's going to be tokenized by Ripple. $1 quadrillion worth of it. XRP, XLM, XX, whatever their dumb tokens are. It's going, Jorge. 650 trillion. The dollar is going down.
You know what?
All your fiat is trash. You better start stacking the Ripple. You Ripple, was it the Ripple Rangers? I forgot what the hell they're called.
The Ripplets.
The Ripplets.
The guys that like to squeeze their ripples together, you know? Just give a little tickle to the ripple, you know what I mean? But, I mean, this like, is such a hated rally. Like, it reminds me of like the episode of Family Guy where they go to a town that's completely abandoned and there's like an old man throwing tumbleweeds around and he's like, y'all laughed at me. Y'all thought a tumbleweed business would never succeed. Now look at me. And he like jumps in a Ferrari with like a really hot girl drives off into the sunset. But, you know, if you're a Ripple holder, congratulations.
Yeah. Listen.
As for this, I mean, I hope you guys can at least look. Are you going to make money? Probably.
Oh, you can make a lot of money.
But you got to be realistic with your expectations here.
This is real.
This could probably go $10, maybe $20.
$20.
I don't know. Who knows? And that would still be a huge jump. I mean, in order for it to hit that, it would basically need like what, 6x from here. That would be to 18, so like 6.2x. Yeah. Right. And that would require a lot of money. So all I'm asking you, we don't give financial advice here, but I hope that you're measuring your risk properly.
Dude, the normies are coming out of the woodwork, Jorge. They're like, yo, hey, TBC. I saw. What about I just bought some Ripple, man. I bought it. It's going to go to the same price as Bitcoin. No problem. That's literally what Brad did this week. He convinced the normies that XRP is going to be the same price as Bitcoin, and the market cap is going to be, I don't know, priced in Zimbabwe money. Like,
I mean, if you do this in Venezuelan bolivars, it's probably already at like in the trillions. So I think it's good. I think that they hit their goal. If it was in Venezuelan bolivars, they are there.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what really tickles our
Yeah.
our Ghiblies.
Ooh.
TBC, are you ready for the Ghibli tickling?
I can't believe there's anything more important than XRP right now, but let's go. Let's go.
Well, there is. And for those of you that watch the show, you won't believe what it is, but it's Ethereum.
It's not dead.
Yes, Lord. It is not dead.
It took some.
You thought it was dead.
little-
It was just sleeping it was sleeping in a casket for fun. Okay, it was just going through its emo phase and just putting on its black eyeliner and just getting ready to rise. So, Ethereum games have been incredible. This week, we actually saw some record-breaking ETF flows with a historic $1 billion in inflows in just 2 days, reaching a total of $7 billion cumulatively. And according to this, BlackRock's ETF is actually driving 79% of the surge. So that means that BlackRock is effectively pumping ETH bags for everyone. Not to mention that the speculation on Ethereum is growing as the founder of BitMEX, or co-founder of BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, predicts that Ethereum season could see ETH surge way beyond the August strike price of $4,000. So, I mean, things are just looking really, really bullish for ETH. And I think most importantly, to add on to that, the Genius Act just passed, which gives some really big regulatory frameworks for stablecoins. The most important thing being the act requires that every single token is backed 1-to-1 by a dollar. It passed the Senate 68-30 and the House 308-122. And the crypto market cap topped $4 trillion. Total crypto market cap went over $4 trillion after everything was signed. So it kind of just was giga bullish this week. Lots of pumps left and right. And ETH BTC surged on the announcement. So the major assets were moving. And now the major banks like Bank of America and JP Morgan are preparing to make stablecoins. And at the moment, it looks like these rules are going to be official over the next 6 months. TBC.
Yeah, I did.
What do you think? Are you loving being legislated?
Dude, that was the most.
Do you need the legislation?
That was a densely packed news story. First off, congratulations for everybody being here for the resurrection. Okay, it's a play on words there. I tried to make it sound cool. I think it was pretty good, but ETH apparently isn't dead. It's a little old, and it needs some assistance in getting excited. It needs an old man throwing a football through a tire swing, type of blue-like pill to get it up. And it seems like it's happening. It's happening, I mean, and it only took, what we all consider one of the most evil corporations on earth to pump our bags for us. So I'm very excited about that. Congratulations to everyone who's made it to this part of the cycle. Very good. We're going to get into the Genius Act in a little bit, so maybe I'll refrain from some of that stablecoin legislation. But as you know, spoilers, I love to be legislated. I love to be, sat in a chair, getting tied up a little bit, and for the Democratic whip to come in and just legislate me, just legislate me harder. Yeah, like that. I like that legislation. Anyway, but hey, I don't know. I do find it, and I don't know if anyone caught this, but you did mention something like the market cap for crypto is like $4 trillion. And I just want to remind you that the
XRP is going to
Ripple
be
market cap
way more than that.
It's going to be 650 trillion. So guys, your you got it all wrong. You should be in XRP right now because
What is that, like 1,000
Like,
Amazons,
yeah,
like
like,
200,000
dude,
Amazons or something?
650 trillion is where XRP is going. So I don't screw all your other tokens. Ethereum, you're such a dog, dude. Bitcoin, you're old and no one cares. You're not tokenizing the derivatives industry. So you get all the banks are going to be using Ripple. No one's going to be using Ethereum. Just you quote unquote chads out there. Yeah, that's it. And whatever. This is hey man, I guess this is good. That we're talking about Ethereum again, and it seems like it's finally moving. I mean, once again though, prices and everything, I showed up for the tech, and every time I say that, I've been proved wrong because Ripple's up to $3.20 and it's going to $122,000. So whatever. All I know, it's not about the tech. It's about who you know and what backroom deals you could get done and whatever reptilian Masonic individuals decide in the back rooms. That's it, man. Because it ain't about us.
Yeah.
It ain't about us.
Big evil corporations are in vogue. This is your yes year. This is your yas moment right now. Okay. And, something I wanted to mention, though, it is the mixed sort of response from the Genius Act, because according to analysts, it says that the Genius Act is not going to allow for basically yield-bearing products for these stable coins. And it appears to be mostly in terms of centralized options. That means that Coinbase is not, because of this act, Coinbase may not be able to offer you 5% yield on your stablecoin, right? So what's interesting about this is that this may be not on purpose, but an accidental boom coming to the DeFi space, because now people who might have been using apps in the United States to get a yield on their stablecoins are going to have to go onto the blockchain in order to find better products. So I think in a way it's good. And it looks like the main reason that happened is because the banks did not want competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, get out of here.
I mean, trading fees can make for great yield. That is pretty obvious. TBC.
Yes.
Are you excited that the banks may have shot themselves in the foot here?
I am. I mean, yeah, sure. But remember, do the banks really care about us? They don't. We're not the boomers. We're not, well, some of us aren't Gen X, but like these older people, they're not gonna hop online, right? The banks, they're not going anywhere. They know they're not going anywhere. That's the whole purpose of this legislation, right? That's the whole purpose of everything that's been going on, is to make sure that these banks aren't going to be pushed out by, the whole central banking mechanism. I will say, there's been a lot of talk about the CBDC type thing going on here. I've been a person who has believed that Jerome Powell is not one for CBDCs. He hasn't been interested in pushing them on the public. He's talked about using them as a way for banks to work out their balance sheets. That was about it. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to dive into this and see if this is I'm gonna get my JP Morgan coin, and I want to know where I could stick that. Because it's only a matter of time before the Bank of Ameritard token is going to be on Optimism. Someone's gonna slap it on Uniswap, and we're gonna pair it against some shit meme coin for 3,000% yield. So I think it's going to get the next generation potentially interested in it, but I don't think teenagers are like looking toward their banks for financial advice at this point. I think they've already been seduced by the power of the dark side, which is us. Congratulations for seducing children, everybody. Let's go.
You would say that on the week that all the Epstein news is coming out.
Whoa, dude, Epstein didn't do nothing, man. What are you talking about? He was cleared. He was cleared. He did. I don't know. I don't know. There are no Epstein
Look, on this
files, and the
show,
great thing is I told you all to hide your private keys in there, stick your P keys in there, and guess what? There's no files. So hey, good for you.
no, I mean, everyone here is just aligning with the words of Charlie Kirk and just, leaving it to the government. Just trust them.
Trust them.
There's nothing to
There's
hide.
nothing.
There
Listen,
definitely is nothing to
you know
hide.
what? Whatever. Just pump my bags. They can do whatever they want. I don't care. Whatever. Looks like we got another news story, Jorge. There's a few of them.
Right here.
Yeah, this one says corporate Ethereum treasuries fuel market rally. Oh, companies like SharpLink holding 353,000 ETH are treating Ethereum as a treasury asset, sparking stock rallies with SparkLink shares soaring 112% in a week. This trend, alongside new FASB rules, which are easing crypto accounting regulations, I guess, see firms diversifying into ETH, Sol, and Jorge gets this XRP with new staking yield boosting corporate income. Jorge is the Jorge Incorporation now adding Ethereum bags to your treasury.
Well, I mean, this makes a lot of sense. Obviously everybody is going on the coattails of Michael Saylor. No doubt about it. And they're using a similar strategy. According to this, it says convertible debt and equity issuance used to acquire tokens. So they issue debt to investors in order to purchase more Ethereum. And it looks like all these stock gains just continue to pump the value of the stocks whenever they make an announcement that they're going to purchase more Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever. It's kind of an odd spot because traditional stocks, right? Like the guy can't, tell you to pump the stock, but Ethereum is technically not a stock.
Right.
It's a crypto asset. So he can go on TV and pump ETH. And I think there is some kind of ethical issue there. But with that being said, what this shows is that corporations are starting to see the value prop in holding ETH, Solana, and even XRP onto their portfolio as they continue to perform extremely well this cycle. And I'm curious to see if these companies are going to stake. I think that would be the most interesting thing. Why not get a yield on all the ETH that you're holding, right? I mean, that seems to be the most natural thing to do. Unless they're planning to dump us. Dump on
Well,
us.
first off, I tell you what, right now, all these companies, they're going to be holding XRP. So listen, that came down from their back room worshiping sessions and funny handshakes. You must hold the XRP, right?
Right. In their eyes wide shut parties.
Yes.
Like wearing masks and cloaks and, and Nicole Kidman in the movie somehow.
That's right.
Definitely not getting a divorce.
That's right. I'm telling you. That's your eyes wide shut parties sponsored by Ripple.
And rest in peace, Stanley Kubrick.
Oh yeah, that poor guy, dude. He was just trying to warn us about the pedophile ring that existed, and they got rid of him, dude. They got rid of him. Whatever.
Maybe that'd be quite the interesting.
Should
twist.
we talk about well, all right, we won't do that here. That'll be on our next week's podcast.
We want to live to make another episode, so
we're just joking. Reptilian underlords that rule this world. We're just joking.
Yeah,
we're just joking. We're cool. We're in. Pump XRP. We don't care.
Please go out and pump the SRP. Please pump my SRP bag. All right.
Speaking of pumping bags.
And now, so speaking of pumping bags, another very high performing crypto this week was Chainlink.
Let's go.
Which apparently is going to have a new role at the SEC. Chainlink's inclusion in the SEC's tokenization task force sent Link up 15%, bolstered by partnerships with MasterCard and Westpac and strong technical indicators. This move underscores Chainlink's growing role in tokenized asset infrastructure. I mean, Link last cycle was kind of a bummer, even though one could argue that Link outside of Ethereum is is the most important like crypto project out there. Like Link allows you to track prices, ongoing information with any of these crypto assets. It can even be used to track like the weather. It can be used to track gambling sites. It's its ability to get information so quickly that makes it so valuable. So this seems like a very natural like next step for Link to be kind of working with the SEC in order to get all the information to them as fast as possible. You know, so I don't know. I think this is really interesting, and I'm totally biased. I have been holding Link regrettably, but now things have been turning around, so it's been nice. But I've been holding Link for a while. What do you think, TBC?
Right. First off, I just hopped into the group chat, and I'm now messaging Sam and Noel and all of my friends at Chainlink about the fact that I didn't know that Chainlink can track the weather. So I'm totally gonna be like, dude, what are you holding?
A lot of stuff.
Whoa. So anyway, I don't, you know what? Great. I don't know. You kept saying the SEC task force or whatever. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I don't know what that means, I guess. I guess I'm not smart enough or care enough to know. But it was one thing when we worked in Web3 and it was, just a bunch of Web3 people. And then the Web2 people started coming in and we're like, oh, Web2 people, right? They don't really get it. But now like the Web2 people who work in Web3 are now working with regulators and like joining their teams. I mean, it's murky waters. And I mean, I'm sure it's great for Link, and congratulations on Link finally pumping, right? It must have taken taking a pill with Ethereum,
A long time.
Right. So I'll have to open up some old walls and see what I have in there. But yeah, I mean, we're hitting this part where these projects are becoming bigger than we ever thought. And that's good for us as residual. But I don't know, man. I don't want to see anybody in crypto actually working hand in hand with the SEC. I don't want to even see Ripple working with the government. But hey, that's just where we are. And as long as bags pump, who cares, right? I don't know.
I mean, you have to remember that Ripple's motivations are clear. The government has unlimited money. How are you going to get to 650 trillion? How are you going to get there?
I don't have enough
if you don't
money
get
to
them
pump
buying.
it, right? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. But what I will say here too is I guess this kind of goes back to a lot of the old questions back to like the Gary Gensler days and everything in the initial XRP lawsuit, which I won't dive into too much, but they're definitely starting to blur lines here.
Yeah.
Like by tokenizing crypto, it's going to be interesting to see like when are they going to say that the crypto is a security when it's a utility token and so on. So we're going to go into some interesting territory.
Here's the thing. I don't want to get political here, but I don't think this administration cares. I don't think they care about the terminology.
You're probably right.
They just want the market to go up, right? And they probably need the market to go up sooner than later, so that the midterms, we're sitting there in 2026 and talking about MAGA people trying to make sure they have enough votes in the House and the Senate. I think that's the goal. And I think right now it's make money and we'll figure it out later, right? Who cares how we get there? Just let's get this market rolling. Let's get to the part where everybody is excited. Let's create. And here's the thing, I don't know if it's not going to be an organic bull market, right? Not like we've ever had a real organic bull market anytime recently, but like it's going to be manufactured, and I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing Trump come down so hard on JP publicly, at least. And I think in the come third quarter, you probably likely will see interest rates fall and things get triggered. And
yeah,
that I think is the plan. Once again, I'm off I'm off script here. Anyway, I think JP once again is still trying to wreck the EU and teach them a lesson. But whatever. We got more important things to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is
so. I think you're prepared. I think you were born for this.
Hey, you know,
TBC.
It wouldn't be a week if I didn't have to talk about this goddamn chain. Solana meme wars. I know you care. I know I care. I know we all care. But Let's Bonk is gonna it's outpacing Pump.Fun. So hey, this is amazing. Let's Bonk has surpassed Pump.Fun in Solana meme coin activity, processing 22,000 plus daily mints. Listen to that. Look, daily mints, 22,000, right? I remember when a new token would come out back in the day, because I'm really old, and people were like, wow, this is awesome. You get one token, and then like people, it would blow up. But now we get 22,000 daily mints. And it's earning basically 1.04 million in revenue at this point, thanks to Bonk's burn model. So hey guys, burning is still a thing, and it's user-friendly design. I guess. Did you ever use Pump.Fun? Did you ever consider it user-friendly? I didn't think it was too bad, but what do I know? Meanwhile, Pump.Fun's Pump token crashed 20% post ICO. What a surprise! Due to pre-sale sell-offs. Pre-sale sell-offs. How is that? Who had all the tokens beforehand before they printed? Where'd they go? And lack of
that's poetic justice.
You know, so Pump.Fun, a place where you would go to basically get dumped on. Y'all got pump tokens, but you got dumped on before your pump tokens could have the possibility of pumping, just like all the tokens you were betting on Pump.Fun. Okay. Anyway, 20% drop. Is that big deal? Is 20% a big deal? I mean, that happens to Ethereum like once a week. So like, what's the big?
Yeah.
What's the big deal? What are you people complaining about, man? Welcome to the game.
Well, right now it's 60 on the. It's currently down about 30% since launch, and you know I think there was some hype. Like this was definitely very mixed because Pump.Fun is or was, I guess, now that Bonk's what is it? The Bonk platform has taken. Oh my God, Bonk. Anyways, so they effectively now Pump.Fun, which didn't have any real competition on Solana, now actually does, and the whole value prop, as I understand it, was that you held the tokens or you stake them or something, and you would receive those fees, which makes sense. And then it's like you can make some money off of the casino. But the irony is that, like all their meme coins that come out, some people had the vast majority of the supply and they immediately dumped when it went out. So according to this, 59% of pre-sale wallets just dumped.
Wow. Oh.
59. That's really high. Who knows how much of the supply is still getting dumped because it's still going down. Now it is possible for it to go up. Like Pump.Fun has made so much money in terms of revenue, and I'm sure large profits as well. So I'm sure that they could find a way to turn this around. But I just don't. Pump.Fun for me is the part of the crypto world that I just don't like. You know, just on a personal note, I do enjoy investing in stocks and crypto, just generally speaking. And I just think there's projects that are doing some really interesting, cool ideas that could benefit society as a whole. And all Pump.Fun seeks to do is to aggregate capital from basically people that don't know any better. So
you're such.
I mean, how else would you describe it?
You're such an angry old man sitting on your porch in your rocking chair, shaking your stick at the kids who are just trying to get rich, dumping on top of each other. What's the matter with you, Jorge? You know, democratize dumping. All right, that's all we gotta do. I mean, like, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about either one of these projects. I don't care. I don't understand what you people are. People are over there. They're trying to be the, you know, like, they're out. Whatever, dude. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. You know, like it's a segment of crypto that, once again, you and I are too old to be playing in. And we're really just old. We're old. We don't understand this. I know there's people out there, right? They're like, yeah, we're gonna mint some tokens and try to dump on people and give everybody the double finger on my live stream. But whatever, dude. This is stupid. This is a dumb story. Like, yeah, you didn't expect the Pump.Fun devs to dump on you? Like, seriously. You guys got to be smarter out there.
Probably was.
You got to be smarter out there, people. Like, come on. Like, come on. Anyway, let's talk about another person that's going to dump on everybody.
You definitely got that right. Speaking on people that are going to dump TBC, as you mentioned, Trump floats Powell's firing and then walks it back. So, as you know, TBC, you and I used to always discuss, are the rates going to go up? Are the rates going to go down? Blah, blah, blah. It's just the most boring thing to talk about in the world of finance. However, Trump criticized Fed Chair Powell for doing $2.5 billion of renovations at the Fed Chair offices, and the cost being far too high, suggesting that he would fire him as a result for doing these huge renovations. Markets wobbled amid fears over Fed independence. Wall Street CEOs and economists defend Powell's position. So it is pretty interesting here because there's two camps right now. There's people that believe that Powell should cut rates, and then there's people that think, hey, the market's doing really well, the economy's doing pretty well, we might not need to cut rates. And that camp that's saying they don't want to cut rates are basically looking at a few factors. One, because of Trump's tariffs, not being political here, just saying it how it is, people have started dumping their US dollars and treasuries, which have made the US dollar fall versus a myriad of other global currencies right now. Like the euro is now much higher than the dollar, as an example. And part of the Fed's mandate is to make sure that they are protecting the strength of the dollar. And so that is one reason. The next reason is there have been signs that inflation is kicking back up. The last Fed meeting, they announced a 2.7% increase, which was higher than expectations. So inflation is turning around. And there are fears that cutting rates in the short term would pump markets, because people can get a hold of more capital, but because people are suddenly able to get a hold of more capital, that may in turn increase inflation and also devalue the dollar further. So there is a camp of people in Wall Street that just don't want to see these cuts. And there's people who argue the opposite, which is that, hey, housing is unaffordable for people and cuts need to come. And as well as that the economy has bounced back, that other central banks around the world are also cutting rates currently. So Jerome Powell is kind of doing the opposite of what other central banks are doing globally. So TBC,
yes,
your thoughts?
Okay,
since you love talking about central banks.
First off, this is a crazy ass story. I got so many questions here. One, I know Jerome Powell asked the Attorney General or somebody to actually review the renovation costs, and that. Couple things here. One, first off, this is likely kayfabe. This is just Donald Trump doing his great wrestling routine, where he's creating chaos. Okay, that's great. Secondly, this topic is bizarre, right? This is a bizarre topic. I thought the Fed was independent, so who's actually paying for the renovation costs? So is it their money? Are they just printing money? Are they like the Treasury prints it, but they're kind of like giving up where's the money coming from? It's not coming from like Congress. Did Congress give them $2.5 billion?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
So and if they are, who cares? It's $2.5 billion to renovate the Fed. I mean, maybe we could stop giving, missiles to countries. I don't know. Instead, stop fighting wars. I'd rather. Also, $2.5 billion. That's literally the going rate to build a brand new state of the art NFL stadium. like 2.5 billion. That's huge, huge. So what are they doing? Are they building a stadium? How many jumbotrons does Jerome Powell need at the Fed chair headquarters? I don't know. Is this how opulent is this place going to be? There's so many questions here. I need to know the answers to. Like Trump just shaking up markets because he likes volatility. Also, if you're selling because Donald Trump's like, I think I'm gonna fire JP again. Have you not been on this train before? Because he's only said that like literally every week, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna fire him. Like, what's the matter with you people? So I don't know. This is stupid. It's a strange story. I need to know more about it. I'm gonna deep dive this. I got JP in one of my group chats. I'm gonna ask him, what's he spending this $2.5 billion on?
Oh, by the way, sorry to interrupt, but just to clarify, I did actually find out, according to Google AI, $2.5 billion is the exact cost, or a little over $2.5 billion, for a mega football stadium.
See,
so
I know my stadium cost.
I wonder what they are. You know your stadiums.
Maybe.
So I wonder what they're doing.
Maybe they're trying to launder some of that money so that the Washington Commanders football team could finally get that brand new stadium constructed out of wood. That's right, people. Look it up. Look it up. That's what they want to do. They want to RFK and turn it into a wood stadium because that's what you do in DC. That makes sense. Anyway, 2.5. Also, this is the same government that spends $1,000 on a hammer. So this is what we're it's so bizarre. I don't even understand anymore. $2.5 billion is a lot of money, but
what I will say is that
why does Wall Street care?
It is generally considered a part of when it comes to central banking, it is generally considered proper practice for that bank to be independent of the government's whims, ideally, because the thing that's pissing off Donald Trump too is that by interest rates being high, our burden to pay bondholders is obviously really high. And then Trump's put himself in a more difficult position because now the US dollar has fallen in value. So it's kind of a problematic issue. It's like a ruthless cycle. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think either is going to yield good outcomes. So I'm not sure where
but
I'd land here.
At the end of the day, they're both on the same team. They're both on the Jamie Dimon team for the most part. And they're both operating and doing exactly what was in the playbook, Also, this could just be, listen, guys, this could just be another, British psyop, dude, trying to put a fork in our markets and twist it right here in the good old of US of A.
I mean, it's important to also mention that he walked it back shortly after because he realized the panic that it caused just saying that he might fire someone caused stocks to go absolutely nuts. So
yeah, but this is people. This is what Donald Trump does. And if you haven't figured it out by now, what have you paying attention to? The guy just says things, he gets a reaction, and then he adjusts accordingly. That's it. He's walked back literally everything he said ever because the man just likes to say things and then negotiate from a different perspective. That's it. He wants a point of power. So I'm going to say some crazy crap because I can. Then I swear to God, the other day he's like, yeah, it's crazy. I could just say something and the markets go wild. They pump. And it's exactly. And the market shouldn't do that. Right. That's kind of been our whole thing.
That is a sign,
right?
For me, if it pumps like that, that's a sign that we're going to go to a crash. When you start getting irrational moves like that, I think it's that people are starting to see that there is one more opportunity to make money. And so they're being very finicky with their positions. I think the long-term holders are not really there. It's people buying and speculating on what Trump is going to say and do, But TBC, with our jargony ass discussion of central banks, tell me about this tweet from Thomas Massie.
Thomas Massie, who, I don't know, Trump said he's going to get rid of. He's going to fire Thomas Massie because that's what Trump could do. He could fire everybody. Thomas Massie, if you don't know, from Kentucky, representative, is, or I don't know, has been a kind of a thorn in Trump's back. He's pretty, say, traditional conservative, libertarian to an extent. Very,
like
very
a real libertarian.
Yeah, he's kind of like, he believes in his values, The MAGA people don't like him because he's not on board, right? He's not on board. It's understandable, right? Because you need every vote you can get to defeat the reptilian overlords. But he did his part, he claims, to to prevent CBDCs from popping into that Clarity Act. But it didn't work out, right? There's a lot of tensions going on right now with the digital currency policy. We know that it eventually got passed, but he's taken a very outspoken stance against CBDCs. And of course, the whole idea of centralized monetary tools. And a lot of other Congress people were kind of jumping on board with that. And as you know,
right,
Jorge, when they do bills, it's much easier to get a bill that's as thick as the Bible passed instead of just voting on every line item individually. Because then you could get your pork in there and you can make everybody happy. But right. I mean, Massie was in there, at least, I guess, fighting the good fight, trying to prevent CBDCs.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't think, and this is my reading of it, I don't think the Fed, and I don't think a lot of Americans companies are interested in CBDCs in the same way that the EU and is interested in CBDCs. I think there's definitely a vast difference between those two. And of course, it's all scary ass shit, because this is not a world we want to live in. But hey, at the same time, like, you get like the bills that have been passed under the Trump administration. I mean, like, we now have AI watching everything we do. We now have AI developing files on all of us. We now, all that information is being sold to Palantir, or Palantir's already in control of it. And that's getting utilized. Like, there's also, they also in the recent bill that just got passed, all your freeway cameras are all going to be hooked up into the same thing, tracking everyone's cars and everything. So, the technocratic state, the technocratic state is already here. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before they eventually do link it to our wallet. And, we are just in bad shape. So go buy Monero, because Monero might go to 174 trillion market cap very soon.
I stand by my prediction. All-time highs for Monero coming. It's been one of the best performing cryptos this year.
Let's go.
And I think real privacy is something everybody should fight for. Even though, generally speaking, I'm sure some of you who watch this show has kind of picked up on where I lean politically, but rarely do I agree with both Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie at the same time. But effectively what happened is that Thomas Massie made an effort to remove the provisions in the Genius Act that would allow for CBDCs to be made. He actually retweeted Marjorie Taylor Greene, who actually kind of went into a more detailed reading of it, which I guess I'll read for you guys. This week, the House is voting on the Genius Act, which lays the groundwork for a layered central bank digital currency, CBDC, where Americans interact with stablecoins, but behind the scenes, there are the functional surveillance capabilities of a CBDC. So basically what she's saying here is that the government is basically using stablecoins as a CBDC, effectively. And the bill, and basically what she was trying to do, as well as Thomas Massie, was trying to remove the abilities of the government, or at least the right for them to just surveil you, without a warrant, I suppose. So it says here, on January 23, President Trump signed an executive order on digital financial technology with two important clauses. People will maintain self-custody, And 2, banning agencies from establishing CBDCs in the US or abroad. So this would have had broader implications in CBDCs, but also this bill potentially might be a first step needed to infringe on your ability to self-custody your assets. The thing governments like about banks, it's a phone call away and they can shut down whatever. And, you know, also the banks have the autonomy to control the way your money moves. And crypto, which I would argue is the most important innovation, ladies and gentlemen, the most important, are 2 things: self-custody and the ability to control your money in a digital and secure way. So even though I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene and I basically disagree with almost everything Thomas Massie says, I will say that they are definitely on the right side of history here. How much privacy are we willing to sacrifice in the name of safety? And I think that is a philosophical issue that in crypto we have to fight. It's not just about pumping your bags. It's about living in the freest society that you can.
Yeah. Pump your privacy, folks. Pump your privacy.
Pump your privacy.
Just like all those government people on the Epstein list. They got privacy, right?
They got their privacy, but we don't.
They got their privacy.
All right. Anyways, Trump released the goddamn Epstein files.
No, don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, the market will crash. Get out of here. Stop it. We got to get XRP. XRP's going to $600 trillion. We're going to be so rich.
By the way, here's a thought bubble that I'll leave you on. And on the next episode, we'll discuss Howard Lutnick, who's actually in charge of, of Cantor Fitzgerald, which holds the vast majority of Tether's treasury. All right, you ready to freak out? His neighbors with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not making that up. Anyways, there's something to think about. And is it a coincidence that on our final story, because you know TBC, I've been mentioning his connections to Tether, that actually the CEO of Tether is reacting to the Genius Act and stating that he will comply with those laws. So we may see a legalized version of Tether coming to the United States. According to this, Tether will launch a U.S.-specific stablecoin and register USDT via foreign issuer pathways in the Genius Act. Circle says the act validates its already compliant model. The stage is set for U.S. stablecoin competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you on that. Epstein to Tether to the potential of Tether being in the United States. TBC.
Oh, God.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Listen. Okay, well, I just want to say, guys, if I'm not here next week, just, you know who did it, right? Trust me, I'm not going to John McAfee myself. You got it. You reptilian overlords, I support everything you guys do, man. Whatever you want, that's fine. I'm buying Ripple. I support Tether. I support all your deeds. CBDC me harder, Daddy. Give me the legislation. I am just along for the ride at this point because I'm done talking. I'm whatever, man. You guys, this is wild. This is everything. What neighborhoods do these people live in? How do I get a house there? I want to be invited to that. I want to be invited to that 4th of July party. Yeah, dude, give me a hot dog. I'll take it.
But I'll tell you what, on our next episode, I will indulge this weird Tether to Epstein to 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game with Howard Lutnick. But for those of you watching, thank you so much for making it this far. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to check out Beefy for some of the best yields in all of DeFi. I'm your host, Jorge with TBC. We are out.
Have a good day,
Also,
everybody.
nothing is financial advice here.
Except buy XRP.
Except buying XRP, apparently. Cheers.